He handcrafted every Stearns and Foster.
Thanks. Uh, yeah, it's been a long spring so far. Dave, I'm gonna let a couple people come in before I start talking and stuff like that. I'm awake. God, do I look that bad? Oh, five of you. Yeah, I'm gonna let a couple of you guys get in here before I start talking and really get into the details of stuff. Uh, Big thing here is it has everything to do with it's basically spring fishing and whatnot. Um, for those of you guys, I'm sure I'm gonna have to repeat this a couple times, but for those of you that are here right now, comment below. Make sure you can let me know that you can hear me good, and then on top of that, uh, I look tired because I've just spent the last 2 days shoveling snow. So I'm in southern Wisconsin. If you guys don't know that, but yeah, we got dumped on yesterday. I moved like 10,000 pounds of wet snow. So how's it going, Bill? Kevin, you're in Michigan, right? Did you get any snow? Oh, you got a foot up there? Yeah, I got about the same thing. Sorry, I'm doing like double duty here, trying to fill things out and whatnot. Nine of you guys. Oh, Kevin, you're in Iowa. Sorry about that. I try to keep track of all you guys, but I have open water in southern Wisconsin too. But I've honestly been out like 3 times, and the fish are just crazy confused with this weather. It's kind of going nuts. I'll try to let a couple more of you guys get in here before I get into this. I mean, the title kind of self self explanatory. Just trace snows. Oh, so it's you that's okay. You're in Southwest Michigan. You didn't get any of that snow. That's kind of crazy. Uh, we got dumped on. There was like a swirl heavy band that went from like southern Wisconsin all the way up to what it sounds like is Green Bay. So yeah, you got 122 inches. That's a lot of snow. I don't envy that at all. I do wish I could have been riding my snowmobile on that, but I just couldn't afford to get out there this season. Hopefully, you guys watch enough of these summer videos and open water things. I can keep that snowmobile because if it's that snowy and I can get up there, I'd like to be able to use it. What do you got? One, two, three. No snow in Shawano? Really? That thing must have just missed you guys. You got 12 of you. Fredonia area, just a few inches. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was watching the weather like a hawk, and it was like a hooked band of like everything in that band was like a foot of snow. I was in the lower end of it, kind of sucked. Hey, Stephen. Thanks for the chat. I can use the money because it's been rough this spring. I always appreciate any of you guys want to donate or anything like that anytime. I appreciate it. Having a weekends with totals like 28 inches. 28 inches is a lot of snow to fall in a single weekend. I mean, it's nothing in comparison to how California's been dealing with it, but I mean, it's a lot. I don't like shoveling snow. I know none of you guys do. Okay, I don't want to wait too long here. There's 14 of you guys. Appreciate you for being here on the live. I was going to make a big thing about it, and then I just kind of got sidetracked working on some stuff early, and I didn't get a chance to post anything on the socials to let everybody know. So all you guys that are here, thank you. I'm going to ask, and I'll leave this up, so if you guys are seeing this after the fact that I did this, you can still comment below, and I'm going to write all these down and stuff like that, and I'm going to go through them and see what I can get done this spring. I've been saving my pennies, basically, so making no unnecessary trips or anything like that, so that I can get out and do some, like, good, crazy filming for you guys this spring. I really want to get out and do some new things, but anything you guys can recommend as far as spring fishing stuff that you guys want to see, start commenting those below, and then we're going to go from there. And I'm going to talk about what I kind of have planned, and then what I'd like to do as far as like what you guys are requesting. So I'm just trying to make it so that it's more inclusive for you, for everybody, basically, so that, you know, you get a chance to see kind of things that you prefer doing. So if you have anything you want to do as far as like fishing specific, let me know. Start commenting those below. And then how's it going, Midwest fisherman from Chicago? I need to get down in Illinois and fish more often. There's a lot of good things down there. It's a thing that I should be doing more often because it's not that far from me. Southern Wisconsin. I wish I could be proud of living in Southern Wisconsin because there is some good fishing around here. It's just when the weather patterns are the way they are, it's like I either got to go south or I got to go north. And it just jacks with my spring fishing every year. That's usually why I'm out ice fishing somewhere right now. I just don't have the money to run. The UP or like the Mitten, like mainland. Is that what you guys are, or what you're talking about? And if there's any kind of dead breaks here, it's just because I'm kind of I'm kind of going up and down reading and then trying to figure out what's going on here. Steven, are you talking about the chain of lakes in Illinois? Right? Is that like, what is that, Grass Lake and, I don't know what the other one is. That's by Grass Lake, right? Any chain of lakes. Yeah, that's true. If I can find a open body of water that's, you know, varied by the fact that it's just chain of lakes, then I can do that. Chautauqua, if you're looking for a place north. Yeah, I like that area of the state. There's a lot of bodies of water around there that are nice. I'm gonna put out just like one of the things, like I was saying. I'm gonna have to repeat this because I'm sure there's 25 of you now. The big thing here is I'm looking for like request as far as like locations, species you want me to chase, types of lures and stuff like that you might want me to try, types of fishing, like styles of fishing that you guys want me to try, all that stuff. It's just I'm looking for basically some directions to go this spring. I'm always lost in the spring. One of the things that I'm going to be doing, and it's just what I want to do, and that's kind of why I film the way I do, is I like to fish. So I'm gonna go chase catfish this spring, pre-spawn and post-spawn. So that's a big thing I want to do, no matter what. Steven, big perch, big bluegill. I wish that's all I needed, but I go crazy. I mean, you guys know, like, that's a giant 8 pound walleye. I got a giant bluegill on my bluegill cave wall here. I love fishing for everything, so like I go crazy if I do something too much. I don't know if any of you guys have that problem. Yeah, I'll see. I might hit you up, Steven. I might have to do that. But I also have some goals in mind. I really want to try and get a big flathead this year. I do possibly, if I can afford to drive south. I've never caught a blue catfish, so that's something I have on my radar as far as like maybe getting together with somebody that knows where those are at and just getting me on a couple of those. I don't really care how big they are, but I know they get gigantic, so there's always that. Um, I don't actually own a cane pole. And I grew up cane pole fishing with my grandpa. That was one of the things I did when I was a little kid. We would go cane pole fishing for bullheads, and that was a riot. If you can imagine a little thorny bugger on a cane pole. So I did do that. Airports while moving inland. Okay, east side, got you. I don't think I've ever actually gone over to Michigan and fished in the mainland of Michigan. So that's something I should probably look into. A big thing here is travel. So I'm trying to stay, I don't know, within 4 hours driving. I'm gonna try and do you guys want to see more? I have some camping stuff that I never really got a chance to do last year because of how the season went. But I did plan on possibly doing some like camping and fishing adventures type thing. Maybe go somewhere for like 3 or 4 days and just camp. I did get my my state park pass this year, so I will be going around the state and just staying at state parks if I can. It's cheaper. It's way cheaper than a hotel room or anything else. So, but yeah, keep commenting below things you want to see, and then we'll discuss them. I'm basically just trying to feed off of you guys. I want to see what needs to be filmed more, what needs to be filmed less. Like I said before in many other videos, a big thing that I don't like to do is get stuck on one thing. So just got into bass fishing, suggested southern Wisconsin. As far as bass in southern Wisconsin, there's a couple of lakes that are really good. It just really depends on how you like to fish. I know Eagle Lake's really good. That can be really entertaining, but it's a difficult lake to fish if you don't know how to fish it. I know Lake Geneva's loaded to the gills with bass, but it's also a deep fishing lake. So if you don't have a good boat, or if you don't know how to like read the weather or the times of day, plus it turns into a zoo. Another good bass. I'm trying to think of another good bass lake. Delavan's a good bass lake. Can be hit or miss though. Trying to think another good bass lake. Oh, Wind Lake. Wind Lake has been pretty good for bass over the last couple of years. I haven't really fished it a lot. I used to fish it all the time. Steven, something I figured out with the bed and the trailer is I don't have enough oxygen in that thing. I don't have enough ventilation. So until I have enough money to do it, I plan on upgrading the trailer whenever I have the money to do it. But I need to put some windows in there. So I had my what are those things? The O2 sensor thing, and then I was using my buddy heater in it, and the safety switch for the low oxygen switch kept shutting off my heater. So I had to not sleep in that this winter. It really sucked because I had it all ready to go, and I started to sleep in it, but then I started putting my carbon monoxide detectors and all my stuff in there that would tell me if there's enough oxygen, and I kept running out of oxygen. And I got lightheaded in it once. So I didn't tell you guys about that because it was like trial runs at my house. And yeah, it turns out I need to put at least 1 or 2 windows in that trailer in order for me to sleep in it. My insulation worked great. It stayed nice and warm in -15 degree weather. So there's that. But I absolutely need to put some windows in there for better ventilation and or a roof vent. So just FYI, that's why I didn't use my camper yet that I built. Use a roof vent in the trailer, maybe. Yeah. One thing is I just insulated that whole roof, and I will have to cut through all of that. And I've talked to a couple different people, and people were saying to put 2 windows in it. They don't have to be big, but the window costs just as much as the roof vent does, and that's the thing is I have to be cost effective, and I'd rather have something I can look out anyways. So it's kind of a win-win if I put a window in there. Just once I can afford to put one in there, that's when I'll do it. But yeah, that's a roof vent is probably going to be in the future. It's just I got to work really slow here. I don't have any money really to work with, so it's just slow going. Steven, Pothole Lakes. Oh yeah, Pothole Lakes. Whoever was looking for Das Burrito, you said you were looking for southern Wisconsin bass lakes. That's something that I do often. I don't name lakes if they're tiny, but there's a lot of little tiny lakes all over, like scattered all over Wisconsin, and you'd be surprised what's in them. So if you're new to bass fishing and you want to catch some big fish, just start hopping around the little lakes around southern Wisconsin, and you'll run into some monsters. The biggest I've got right now is like a 4.5. I'm still trying to beat 5 pounds in Wisconsin. It's stupid. But yeah, I want to try and beat that this year too. Plan on doing some more bass fishing. I want to get together with a few people that actually do more bass fishing than anything, so I can kind of get back into it. Springtime for Lake Michigan shoreline fishing. Oh yeah, I used to go to Lake Michigan all the time. That's about, yeah, it's a little bit of a drive for me, but if I can time it right, I would like to go back out there and do some spring fishing. I used to fish, what is it called? The Root River. I used to fish that often. And funny enough, there's actually some other fish in there besides salmon and trout that are very fun to catch that nobody targets. So I might try to get back out there and do that. Actually, that's not a bad idea, Bill. I never even thought about doing the salvage ones. The thing is you can get really nice ones for almost the same price on like eBay and Amazon. Oddly enough, it's kind of stupid. Like they're not that expensive. It's not really the expense of buying the window that's expensive. It's getting it done properly. I don't have the tools or the space to do it properly myself. Otherwise, I would. I can usually do all that stuff myself. So that's a big thing, is just time and money for getting it done properly. Yeah, would you guys watch, I used to fish browns this time of year on Lake Michigan. So if you guys down to watch some brown fishing videos, I might have to go out and throw some spoons and some cranks around for those guys. I've done that my whole life. It's just one of those things that I'm not used to doing it. So I'm a carpenter. The big thing I have to do, and it's something that I've always done, is I try to get things done by the companies that I buy my things from nowadays. It basically keeps things under warranty, or if I resell something, it keeps its value. So not saying that you can't do the work, just like I can do the work. It's the people that I bought the trailer from said they can do those, and then they don't void any warranties or anything like that. So there's little things that I gotta kind of do officially to make myself feel better about the things that I own. I don't want to mess anything up. Fish for whitefish off the piers. I've never fished for whitefish off the piers, but a lot of people up into pier snag them. Some people catch them, but I don't know the first thing about fishing for whitefish through like open water like that. So that's something I've never done. I wouldn't mind trying it if it's a thing that I could figure out, but it seems like you just kind of snag them this time of year. So that's a thing I don't want to do. I don't want to go out like snagging fish. I got that one like what was that? That was like 7 years ago now. Um, and I'm not gonna say what lake I got it on, but I didn't actually. That's one that I caught on accident. So that's a big thing. Is I mounted it only because when I pulled it out of the I caught it ice fishing. I mounted it only because when I pulled it out of the ice hole, I ripped its gills open. I was all excited because of how big it was, and I grabbed it and basically ripped its gills open. And I usually let big fish go. If you guys notice, I don't have a bunch of mounts around of all the giant fish that I've caught, and that's because I don't kill giant fish. That's just my thing. My scout troop just bought a new trailer. That's good to hear, Steven. It's always good when people donate or buy things and they get things for the scouts and stuff like that. Chicago Boat Harbors. I really do want to get down there. I have a buddy who fishes those harbors all the time, and he's always trying to get me out there to go fishing for him. But usually I'm like preoccupied with giant crappie or giant bluegills or something. So at the moment, I'm not fishing for anything. I haven't been targeting specifically. So I might have to hit him up and hit up the Chicago harbors and see what I can find. That'd be a new experience. It'd be kind of cool. I'd never done it, so it's always worth giving it a try. That's a good tip. I like that. Keep giving me more things like that where it's like I don't think I've ever done it before, so I'm totally down to try it at least once. And if it's cool, if I can get a couple things going, I'm totally down to do it again. Yeah, I've caught whitefish before through the ice, and I love them smoked. That's something that I'm going to try and do more of this year. If you guys don't know, I have a cooking channel I started. I been putting things on it as I learn them, so I'm trying to get like the whole processes down and recorded. So you guys are getting more of that, not just like filler stuff. So if you guys are subscribed to my cooking channel, it's DWS Cooks Everything. Uh, you can check that out anytime. I'm uploading to that like randomly, but the big thing here is I have a lot of fish to smoke this year. I actually have a freezer full of white bass right now that I still have to smoke. So there's that. But the whitefish are really good smoked and pickled. So I've had those many a times. I just don't fish for them open water. Fishing with Lance is basically Mississippi River bound. He doesn't live too far from it, I guess. I don't actually know right where he lives, but he lives on the Mississippi. So if you guys are looking for Mississippi River content, that's the man to follow. If you can, just follow Lance at over Angler X because he's going to be the one that you can follow and learn everything there is to learn about the Mississippi River. I know how to fish the Mississippi River because I grew up fishing rivers, so it's just a giant version of all the things that I know already. But yeah, if you guys want to see me fish more rivers this year, because I love fishing new rivers and learning new areas and stuff like that, that's something that I would love to know if you guys enjoy that kind of content, because I do like going out to new rivers, and it's a heck of a lot cheaper than taking my boat or traveling super long distances to do anything else. That's something that I could camp out and do. Like I just bring a tent, sleep on the side of a river for like a night or two, and learn a new area and bring you guys along. And I can try and do what I need to do more of is, and that's break down what I'm doing to catch fish in that new section of river. But I do a lot of research ahead of time. So if you guys are like missing sections of things, remember, comment below videos if you think that I'm leaving something out, and I'll try to cover what I'm leaving out or whatever. That's kind of instinctual. Was there still 15 of you guys? Oh, and one big thing, and it's so stupid, and I hate asking for it, but just how YouTube works. If you guys are seeing a video, hit the thumbs up button. It makes the biggest difference on YouTube. It's so stupid, but it does. If you guys are hitting that like button, it literally makes YouTube show you guys another video. So, like, if I put a video out and you like that video, you'll see my next video. If you don't like that video, a lot of times YouTube will actually just kill a channel. So if you guys are not already doing it, hit the like button every time you see one of my videos. That way it keeps coming. So Yeah, I actually want to do more big northern pike fishing this year. I hate chasing the little guys. Snakes are just annoying to me. But I do like chasing big northern pike, and I have my big rod. It's not a big heavy rod, but it's like a medium action. What is that? That's like a medium action musky rod. So I might try and go to a couple bodies of water this year where there's muskie. Maybe early spring or late fall. I don't do any summer fishing for any of those guys. If you guys have been around long enough, you know that I don't deal well with the extreme heat. So I usually try to move to rivers when it gets too hot out and I need to stand in some water and stay cool. Anything else that you guys want to see? So I'm gonna like I said, I'm gonna write down everything that you guys request. Um, as far as like types of fishing you want to see more of, and any type of specific how-to videos you want to see more of, um, any types of specific adventures you want to see more of. Yeah, Steven, who doesn't like topwater? Comment below. If you don't like topwater, that's crazy. Like that's something I'll never get sick of. I can always fish topwater. It's just fun. Topwater, anything that'll bite it. I did have a video last year. I just remembered. I don't think a lot of people got a chance to watch it. And like I said, that's because if you guys don't hit the like button and you don't comment below, YouTube won't show you my videos again, and that's basically how channels die. I've been struggling with that a lot in this recent months here. But the big thing here is I had a video of decent sized northern pike crushing topwater. It was so fun. 6 pounds. 6 pounds a big largie. And I mean, a lot of people down south won't say that, but I know because I've been trying really hard to beat 5 pounds that 6 pounds in the Midwest, the upper Midwest, is freaking crazy. So congrats on your big fish. I really hope I can get more of those this year. I'm down for traveling a little bit to get some bigger bass, but I'm kind of a stickler in the sense that living in Wisconsin, I really want to get a Wisconsin over 5 pound largemouth. The funny thing is I feel like I know a couple places that I can go get like 6 pound smallmouth. So it's like I could do that. I could go get 6 pound smallmouth, but it's like I really want to get a 5+ largie in Wisconsin. So hopefully that happens this year. Keep your fingers crossed for me. Yes, that's exactly what I mean. The topwater explosions, like when it happens, especially when it happens right next to the boat, it's just insane. Like I've had a couple of the last few years here where like they're imprinted in my mind. Yeah, pulling like a plopper right next to the boat, and you go to pick it up, and that fish claps it right there. That's, I mean, it's really hard to beat that. It really is. It's just really hard to beat that. Is there any other big like adventures or types of fishing you guys want to see? Yeah, and I've started to notice that all my big framed largemouth all are coming from 15 to 20 acre and pound bins. Like they're not very big bodies of water, and usually they are overgrown to the point where most people don't fish them. So it's just a matter of, I think, finding bodies of water people do not have the ability to beat the crap out of, basically. So it's going to be hard to do that. So okay, so that's what I'm talking about. So like a video on how I do my research before I fish an area. Uh, I can do a walkthrough video of that. I should do that this week because it would really help. So like it changes so much through the season and how I do my research, that it's not the same, honestly. So, you know, sometimes you're doing one thing to narrow down where you're looking, but then there's another thing to narrow down whether it's worth even going to. And I have to weigh pros and cons more so than anybody, because if I don't catch fish and I go somewhere and I spend a bunch of money, I spend all that money and that money's gone, and I don't make any money doing the trip. So like what people don't realize about YouTube videos is it costs you almost as much as you make a year just to keep putting videos out. And yeah, I'm not going to get into that. It's just, you guys know, if you've been around long enough, that this is not an easy thing. I don't get million view videos. I don't do clickbait. I don't do any of that stupid stuff. The biggest thing is yeah, it's the research changes depending on the time of year and the type of fish that I'm chasing. So I'll try to do a couple of videos breaking down what I'm doing as far as like finding bodies of water, and then making it like a trip worth taking. Because I know, like, a lot of people, if you only have, you know, a week vacation of the year, you want to go to a body of water that's worth fishing. I understand that, because I did that my whole life. I always had to do that my whole life. Was, if you're going to take a week off of work, you have to be productive to make it worth that time. So small. No more white bass. That's not gonna happen. I'm sorry, man. White bass are a blast. I don't know any, like, have you gone fishing for white bass specifically? Like, did you ever, I'm talking to Tony here. Have you ever gone out and just like pounded on giant white bass? Like, open water is just insane. And I'm not talking about going to a river and just pulling flies in place, or like setting like a minnow on a bobber and letting it float there. Although watching a bobber drop never gets old either. Like my jerkbait fishing, when I jerkbait fish for white bass, they probably hit the bait on par with like a tuned up northern pike. And then on top of that, you can catch 200 of those tuned up fish. So I don't know how that's not fun. Comment below. Like, I want to know how many of you guys have gone targeting big white bass and like had a day where you caught like 50 of them or more, and like it was just fun. Like, that's just so much fun. I'm going to go white bass fishing. I'm sorry. Simply head to bodies of water you have confidence in and show us what techniques you excel at. Kind of like a challenge, are you saying, Midwest? Like just kind of pick a body of water that I think there should be good fish in, and then talk about my techniques on how I'm targeting those fish, or more so like pick a technique and then try and utilize that one technique to catch said fish. Like just walk you guys through like how I'm fishing a weightless worm that day, or how I'm fishing the jerk bait that day, and like what I'm targeting. Is that what you're asking? Hordes is a very good description of white bass, but that's why they move the way they do, and that's why it's so fun. Just the fact that you can, like, sometimes when you get white bass tuned up, you can just throw like you could throw a pen at them with some hooks on it and just rip, and they'll just crush it because they just lose their minds. It's just so fun. Like, Tony, you need to get out and just target them, and you will see that it's one of those things where when you get a couple of them and they're big, they fight so hard for their size too. You can get like a 12-inch white bass and it fights like a 4-pound largemouth. So, I mean, you just got to get out and do it more. And I understand a lot of people don't have the opportunities that I do as far as like being able to just go where there's fish. So, have any river channels that led to the lake that you can fish for video? Are you talking about like breaking down the rivers that go in and out of lakes, that kind of thing? Or just you're talking about fishing both in a video, like that kind of thing? I was asking Steven that, by the way. Okay, yeah, no, I can do that. Midwest, I can just kind of go to a body of water. And the big thing is here, a lot of people think that I need to name bodies of water in order for you to actually understand what I'm doing, but I don't. I can tell you what kind of body of water it is, and that's going to give you way more information as far as like how to go to any body of water like that and actually do what I'm doing. There's a reason I can go to pretty much any body of water in the state of Wisconsin. If I know what's in it, I know what time of year it is. It really, it's funny because it's just what type of fish, uh, body of water type. So there's a type of body of water, and I think that's something I'll have to do this year. That's a really good. I like I like that because that'll help me talk to you guys about like that's the instinctual thing that I do. It's literally I go to a body of water and I go, okay, this is a clear body of water with deep weeds, this kind of fish. This is what I'm fishing. Like that's just an example, but like you get what I mean. Like I should be able to do that a lot for you guys because there's so many varied bodies of water in Wisconsin. There's just so many. Yeah, the big thing I'm excited about this year is like the more you guys ask, the better I can break down things. And the thing is I like breaking down things. It's just I forget to a lot of times. It's just as simple as like this is what I'm doing. I'm fishing a jerk bait and I'm moving it this way and that's catching fish because that's what I figured out for the day. And then I just like the idea of like catching fish after fish after fish, which I'm pretty sure all of you do too. So it's a very distracting thing once you start crushing fish. But I'll definitely work on that more this year. I have to do that because it's basically why I wanted to do this in the first place was to see if I could translate what's up here across to you guys in video. It's kind of a crazy thing. Most people don't even understand that like when you're fishing, if you're not talking to somebody and describing it. So like if you guys haven't seen my recent fishing videos with Lance, I had two videos from the Mississippi River already this year. I very specifically was trying to talk to him like I was talking to you guys all at the same time so that it would come across as like I'm describing what I'm doing while I'm doing it and then that way I can still just focus on catching the fish. If that makes sense to you guys, hopefully that makes sense. That's a big thing is like I'm just trying to make sense out of all this stuff. Is there anybody new here that's got any other questions or any of you guys that are still here that have any different questions? I mean, we went over a lot of good ideas so far. I like that. I really like the idea of some good like ideas as far as where I should go. Maybe so I have Minnesota, Iowa, Illinois, and Michigan all within a reasonable distance that I can fish without spending thousands of dollars in gas and hotel rooms and stuff like that. So I could fish those. Is there anything you want me to see or anybody that you might want to see me collaborate with? I have some people in Minnesota that I've been wanting to fish with for a while. I've got people in Iowa I want to fish for a while. Been fishing with a couple people in Illinois. Actually, I think there's like 3 people in Nebraska, and then North Dakota and South Dakota, I believe. So, yeah, comment below if you want me to collaborate with more people this year. That's a big thing I've been trying to do. But maybe if you guys go yell at them to collaborate with me, they'll actually pay attention and we'll get together and fish. I just want to fish with more people and learn more stuff about fishing. The fun thing is I'm trying to teach you guys more about fishing. Well, I get to learn more about fishing because this is why I fish. It's just a never-ending curve of learn something new. I love learning. I have fly fished in the past, Midwest. I have, and I do actually have a fly rod. It's a really cheap one, and I'm not an expert fly fisherman by any means. I have an idea of how to do it. If you go back through I have a river fishing playlist. So if you guys don't know this, I have playlist for every style of fishing there is in the Midwest. So if you're looking for something specifically, you can binge watch those playlists, and you'll see I'm sure that you'll see 100 videos that you've never seen on my channel because YouTube didn't show them to you. But yeah, I have a whole playlist of stuff like that. But as far as fly fishing, I'm trying to get back into it, but it's one of those, like, you kind of got to dedicate a certain amount of time to making your learning curve of that style of fishing good. I used to just screw around with panfish and stuff like that, and last year, yeah, that was last year, was the first time I ever targeted smallmouth in a river for fly fishing, and that was a blast. If I can, I'm going to try and do that again, because fishing for smallmouth with little, I think it's like 5-pound test tippets or whatever, that was just insane. It's so fun. Fly fishing's fun. All fishing is fun to me, though. Steven, I'm trying to convince her. We were actually just talking about a trip somewhere to try and relax for both of us before it gets too busy here. But it's really hard to convince her to go fishing on a vacation when she wants to just kind of relax. And I understand that. So if we can, I would like to do that, but we'll see. If I can bring a pole wherever I'm going, I'm probably going to try and bring a pole wherever I'm going. You guys know me. I gotta fish. I do have one. It's listed below, but I have it. That's my business email, so I try not to get it full of spam, so I don't put it out there for everybody. But yeah, the biggest thing here is making sure that if you're gonna use my email, only use it for like business inquiries and stuff like that. Otherwise, I try to do everything through my Instagram Messenger or my Facebook Messenger. If you want to talk about things, or if you want to just mention things, or whatever, if you want to talk about getting together, whatever, then that's what I usually use. But my email's listed in my thing for my business, but that's only for like business inquiries and stuff like that. Thanks, Palmino. Pamin, how do you say that name? I still don't understand how to say your name, Dave. So thank you for the thumbs up. Glad you stopped by. Glad you stopped by too, Midwest Fisherman. I figured I'd get this out. I was going to do 1 hour here. I just wanted to get enough stuff to get the season started, get some ideas going. You guys came up with a bunch of great ones, and like I said, I'm going to go through all the stuff in the chat. I'm going to write them all down, and I'm going to kind of go through them. The biggest thing is just taking out the as much information and putting it back on video for you guys. See you guys later. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thanks, Steven, for everything. You do a lot for the channel. I appreciate everything you do. Have a good day with that, and yeah, I'm sure I'll see you guys next time. But yeah, if you guys have any other request, remember, you see this video, doesn't matter when you see it,